We are just about to enter in the optimism stage. I made here a 6 month salary of somebody else. You could have taken the same trade that I have taken. This week will definitely close here bullish for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is right now initiating a massive reversal back to the upside. And I will show you proof why you should definitely jump on this train before it's too late. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here once again on that Tuesday. So I want directly to jump into the nitty-gritty part here of this video today. One of the reasons why I believe there is a massive bounce coming here, a continuation actually of the smaller bounce that we saw already yesterday, are the ETF inflows. So over the last 4 days, when the whole market was going down, the ETFs were buying like crazy. You need to understand, when ETF buyers are buying, that means institutional players, they usually know what's going to happen. Not always, some of them are also retarded as everybody else in the market, but usually when they are buying, you should definitely also be buying. So yesterday they sold, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Sometimes they are also selling, but it was not a lot. So, and that was basically because they were also spooked about DeepSeek. That's why they were selling. The same with the market. Basically, every market was selling because of DeepSeek. In the end, we got by the end of the day the bounce back to the upside. So I expect here also today a turnaround in the ETF inflows and expect here another positive day once we are getting here the statistics for Tuesday. Now, when we're looking at the CME chart, so here nothing has really changed. We're here getting continuation. I believe the first major halt for Bitcoin, where we see a little bit of resistance, will be here around that small CME gap that's still here at $104,670 to $105,000 almost. Only there we're going to stop a little bit, and then we get continuation to the upside. So another reason why I believe that a big bounce is coming, because short-term holders had sold for a really long time here, and they are also exhausted. When short-term holders are exhausted and are not selling anymore, that means short-term selling pressure is also going away, and that usually leads then to a reversal back to the upside, and they keeping then once again their coins longer than what they are doing here right now, because you can clearly see here since November, no, actually not November 4th, this is like the 21st of November, they started to selling off their holdings, and that's why this number decreased here. But the Bitcoin price was still going up until it didn't anymore, and you can see that here clearly on this histogram here on that line chart, how overall the trajectory for short-term holders was to the downside, which is a clear indication of them selling into the market. So now, where are we at in the market right now when we're looking at the Wall Street cheat sheet? Also here is a clue why I believe that we are at a major turning point right now for Bitcoin back to the upside. So I believe we are just about to enter in the optimism stage. I think I was, the last time we spoke about this, way too early and too far ahead in the curve of the Wall Street cheat sheet, and I believe we're in the just entering now the optimism stage, where we had here this last fake out to the downside that shakes everybody out, where people start to lose hope that the bull run is actually still coming, that an altcoin season is actually still happening. And once everybody starts to capitulate, then the market continues to run. So, and this is what I see in the short-term holders, so they start to capitulate around the beginning of December, and that lasted now for 2 months, which is not something crazy. We, if you're here not for your first bull run, but for your second, third, fourth, like me, we have seen stuff like this before, where Bitcoin just goes for 5-6 straight weeks, more or less sideways or sideways down, and only later then continues the upwards trajectory in a massive way. And I think that is right now what we are going to experience here. So, and here you can also, in a weekly chart, we have almost completely retraced that downwards move exactly as I was yesterday explaining it, that this is what I would be expecting here. And that would also mean that this week will definitely close here bullish for Bitcoin. If we are keeping this momentum, see here the stochastic RSI is printing right now a buy signal. The RSI only needs to pick up a little bit to get above the moving average. And then you will have Bitcoin here trading around $104,000 ish once we are with the RSI above that moving average. So if we close the week in that kind of manner, I will be absolutely happy with that, because I know next week with a massive pump candle coming the same way like I mentioned it already yesterday. So now on the 12-hourly chart, also here, really important. What has happened is that we have reclaimed the mid-range of the EMA ribbon. We are above the point of still above the point of control. We are now testing the horizontal level of $102,700, which is a key resistance level here from the past. Even though we had here some divergences above price, we always fell below that. So now this time I hope that we're going to manage to stay above that. The indicators definitely are pointing in our favor here, with the stochastic giving us a buy signal from the last 12-hourly close. MACD turning around, RSI going a little bit sideways because we're facing resistance, so we're going sideways on the lower time frames, but this is absolutely fine. So if we're closing here in 22 minutes, the candle as it is, I expect the next 12-hourly candle to push here in direction of $104,000, $105,000. When we're going into the 30 minutes chart, so here first of all, guys, congratulations. If you took the trade that I had given here yesterday, again, absolutely for free, you could have taken the same trade that I have taken. You would have had enough time from where the video was coming out. So this trade is completed. I also closed my ZoomX trade. I'm going to show it to you here in a second. Now you have the opportunity to open a new trade. So if we are for another 50 minutes can manage to stay above that downward sloping trend line, I expect that we are going to get here a bounce to the upside, as I mentioned here just earlier, to around $104,000 to $105,000. If you enter from current price levels, there will be a small scalp trade of 2.35%. I just gonna adjust the stop loss a little bit, make it a little bit tighter. So it's a 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio trade, definitely worth it. So here you can also go a little bit more heavy with leverage. So here you can go in with 50x leverage, because your risk is 20% to get lose 20% on the amount that you put in this trade, or potentially make 100% on the trade. And I think that you have a higher chance to actually win this trade than getting stopped out here. So, but again, don't bet the house on a trade like that, guys. So don't get your full account liquidated on a position like that, because it's just a scalp trade. So on a scalp trade, I never ever use more than like 5% of my portfolio, especially if I use insane leverage, like 50x leverage. So because if I lose 20% of a 5% amount on my portfolio. So how much did I actually lose? I lose 1% of my portfolio, not more at all, So, and that is fine, guys. I'm fine with that. And you need to have the same mindset when you are trading, make sure that your math is mathing and that a trade makes actually sense for you. So just wait here. Like I said, the next 30-minute candle that is coming up in 20 minutes, you want that this candle is still above that downward sloping trend line. And if that's the case, then I would consider opening this trade here and trade this into the next major resistance here on the 30 minutes chart. So here on the MDX Algo scalp gradients, also here you see candles slightly warming up again. What did I tell you with the take profit signal? Usually a good moment to enter into a trade here. The reactor indicator also turning here around again. We have two dot plots here. These two plots usually also mean that we are in a massive reversal. We need to get here above $103,600 to get above the bearish super trend. Once we establish here again a green super trend, we are going to ride this wave past $110,000, and that will give you the confidence then to also actually stay in that Bitcoin trade. So here on ZoomX, as you can see, my trade is closed. My ZoomX trade, remember, I told you that this was for me a small scalp trade. The trade was up at some point over $20,000. I went out with roughly $11,000 worth of profit. That's absolutely fine because the trade was open maybe 4 hours, So I made here a 6 month salary of somebody else in countries where I used to live. in 4 hours. So I think that is absolutely fine. And I had no risk on it anymore because I had the stop loss first at my entry point. Then I upped it to get out in profit with $11,000. So, and that's what I did. So I could sleep really, really well with that trade, even though I woke up with having no trade anymore and we were a little bit higher than where I got stopped out, which is absolutely fine because I can just open a new trade, so it doesn't really matter, guys. So again, if you want to trade with me together on ZoomX, guys, there is a link in the description. You don't need to KYC on ZoomX if you don't want to, which is amazing. And you can still take part here in the trading competition and join your respective country. Don't forget, I pull here randomly somebody that has signed up for that Nations Cup here as a winner and send you $200 into your ZoomX account. So make sure that you sign up here in the next 15 days. I already signed up for Germany because I'm German, so I'm here in the German squad. Unfortunately, my trade yesterday did not count because I somehow forgot to click join, even though I thought I did. So my trade yesterday did not count, but otherwise I would be now top ranking here in the German squad, So, and if the German squad wins something, I would get the biggest share out of it. So you should make sure that you do that. Just go to the link in the description or the pin comment below. There you find everything what you need to create a ZoomX account. So now on the liquidation levels, nothing has really changed here. The 50 moving average is right now the next major resistance for the Bitcoin price before we start squeezing again into the high leverage liquidity here, all the way up to 106,000, almost $800. What I expect here in the short term now for Bitcoin is that we consolidate a little bit around here, a $3,100, $4,000 on the 4-hourly chart, gain momentum, then we break above that, take out all the liquidity that's up here, come back down a little bit, consolidate again, and then we get the big leg to the upside. So here basically a two-stair scenario, so where you have here your first line, then you take the first step up on the stairs, then again a flat line, and then the second step up on the stairs into major liquidity. So the same can be seen here on the liquidation heat map. We have taken out all the over leveraged and concentrated liquidity that was sitting below us. This area here is not really interesting for a market maker. Now we are on the way up, and here you see already a short squeeze will come in from around $103,760. That will go up all the way to $106,000. There we're gonna struggle a little bit to break through this level. Once we do, we squeeze again to $107,500. Gonna get a rejection from there, in my opinion, a small one. And then we're gonna squeeze all the way up to 110,000 and beyond that level really, really quickly. Give it maybe 2 weeks maximum, then I think we're gonna touch that level maybe even faster than that. On the daily chart, the 21 moving average and the 50 moving average had a crossover here, which is also really, really bullish, even though price was consolidating here to the downside. Remember, guys, we have tomorrow FOMC that could give us some volatility where Bitcoin is going here to like $107,000, comes back where we currently at, is playing a little bit jumping rope here. But overall, I expect once FOMC is done and dusted tomorrow that we are going to get our continuation here into the top of the range all the way up to $110,000. Most likely not directly breaking it. 2-3 days later, we're going to smash through that and we'll go to another resistance level that is at around $117,000, $118,000. So here you see already the RSI is also turning around. So and that means it's just a matter of time, when we're going to break this downward sloping trend here that is currently still holding Bitcoin a little bit down here below $105,000. Now on Bybit, my Bitcoin trade is still running. You see, I added here yesterday, the last time yesterday. So now I wait here for, again, a smaller pullback. If we come back down here to like $101,500, $102,000, something like that, there is where I'm gonna add a little bit more. Or if we are managing to break above $103,000 and close here a 30-minute candle above that level, that will be another point where I'm gonna pounce a little bit harder this time to add to my trade, and then I'm gonna let it run into my $110,000 target. But for now, I'm already up here 5%, which is absolutely fine. We let this run, and don't forget, guys, sign up on a Bybit with the link in the description below. I fund randomly throughout the week again until Sunday, Monday. That's where I'm gonna pick a couple of winners this time again. $500 into your Bybit account. You only need to sign up on Bybit and deposit at least $100 to be eligible to get funded here. $500 into your account. Don't forget, you cannot withdraw them, but you can trade with them and keep all the profits, guys. You know, so that's the most important thing, keeping all the profits. If you try to withdraw the $500, you will lose them, you know, so, but profits is okay, guys. Withdraw the profits. So use the link in the description and in a pinned comment below for that. So when we're going then into the Bitcoin dominance, you see we got here that spike yesterday all the way up to 59.6% roughly. That might have been the high, guys. I don't see right now the dominance going much higher than that. We are also running time-wise soon out for the dominance to turn around here and start the altcoin season. So it has to happen here. It has to happen here in the next 5 to 10 days that we see a massive turnaround in the dominance to keep the usual time frame where we are starting an altcoin season. So here, in terms of the total free market cap, nothing has really changed. Remember, guys, I told you that from that bounce here, I would expect that we come here into the upper resistance zone that was a prior support. That's exactly what's happening here. So from there, I expect a small pullback again. Then we come up here again, small pullback, up again, and then we break through that. So this can, of course, happen also accelerated, where tomorrow, after tomorrow, we will break already through this. But right now, I'm not seeing that and would rather put my money on a pattern like this here. So here you see, let me actually remove this here in the meantime. So I believe this is what we are going to see here over the next couple of days unfolding for us in terms of the total free market cap, which is fine, you know, so which is fine. Some coins will move, some coins will not move, some coins will go down as usual. But most important is that we are holding here close or above $1 trillion in total free market cap. So with Ethereum, what did I tell you guys? I told you I'm not so confident with Ethereum right now, but on the 12-hourly chart, we got now a buy signal on the stochastic RSI. The MACD is also going up. Only the RSI is going sideways because we are again at that crucial support resistance level here of $3,200. That's why the RSI is going sideways, because we're struggling to push through that, and price is going on lower time frames just to the side and nowhere else. So once you see here a pop through that, this might lead to a major breakout above that downward sloping trend line once it's occurring, but we need a little bit more time to confirm that. For now, as long as we are somewhere in between $3,000 and $3,250, I would still accumulate Ethereum as much as I can, because once we are getting here above $3,500, it's game over, guys, and this time for good. Solana, not much to say about here because we spoke yesterday about this. As long as we are still in the green box, keep accumulating, build your position. You add the last time at $247, and then you let it ride into a new all-time high. So let's talk about some other altcoins that are massively down. You can buy them on spot or on leverage. Depends on what your risk appetite is. Look at this here. Aptos, from its high up here, went down a total of 53%, almost 52%. So now we are still down roughly 50%. This is a major discount, guys, while on a daily chart, the stochastic is about to turn around here. The RSI is pointing to the upside. The MACD is about to turn around. So this might be the bottoming candle, and this might be the best chance to enter Aptos here, especially if you want to use a little bit higher leverage, something like 8, 9, 10x, you know, so that might be the point where you will be able to do that and ride this here back to the upside to like $11, $13 at the least, in my opinion, you know. So even if you just use 5x or something from here to that level, this is a 46.5% move. So that is over 230%, and you have a stop loss below the wick that we created yesterday. So which is roughly 11%, you know, so an 11% stop loss with 5x leverage, 55%, but you make potentially here 230%. So the risk to reward ratio is definitely worth it and potentially taking that trade here. But I would actually also let her into this trade here. I would enter here a little bit, and then when we break the downward sloping trend line, I would add a little bit more, and the last time I would add around the golden ratio into this trade. The next one is Sonic. Sonic is still within that big accumulation box here on the 4-hourly chart. Also a good point to accumulate on spot. Here I would not use actually leverage, guys. It's a little bit too risky. You can start using leverage when we start breaking this downward sloping trend line, but only then. Before, I would not even think about to use leverage here on Sonic, and rather just accumulate on spot, because even if we only go back to $1, this is a 117% move here. And remember how fast Phantom slash Sonic can move. This can happen in a span of a week or so once we are breaking the downward sloping trend line, maybe even within a week, much faster than what you anticipate. The next one is Link. Link had a nice bounce here from $22 all the way up to $24 almost right now. So here also right now, currently I would not enter this because we are turning around here a little bit on a 4-hourly chart. We might come back down to to retest the top of that support range here at $23.30, 40 cents ish. There I would set my limit orders either to add to my Link trade or open a new one, because there is a high likelihood that we are going to get this, especially here with a with a spinning top formation here, candlestick formation, which is an indication that we definitely come down here a little bit before we go in direction of the resistance here of $25.50, and then of course once we are past that, all the way up to $29.31. The next one is Lido. Lido looks still strong here. I would be intrigued to open here a small position, to be honest. But I would start building a position, guys. I would start building a small one, using 2 to 5% of the full amount that I want to use, and keep adding to it all the way up to $2.05. And from there, I would let it run. So that's what you can do. And also to the downside, you can add, so not only when we go up, also if we would pull down here a little bit lower at the $1.84, at the $1.80, so that's the two levels where I would add if we come a little bit lower again, and I would cut it if we go below $1.70. So also, if you use leverage, don't use too much leverage, guys. Use like 3, 4, 5x, not more than that. You want to make sure that you will not get liquidated if you start building from here, and you have to sustain a 6% move already to stop dollar cost averaging. So let's say you do it 50-50, then you are still at -3% plus the leverage. Let it be 5, so then it's -15%. If it goes all the way down here, so then you are -30%. So that is something that you can stomach, where you can just keep holding the trade, so and will not get liquidated, so that's why you should do it exactly in that specific manner. XRP pumping today back to the upside. 12-hourly chart looking juicy for continuation. We have here a falling broadening wedge pattern in full swing. Once that is breaking out, that will give XRP a technical target here all the way up to $3.62. I think that's also more or less a level where I want to get out of my XRP trade that I have currently running. I cannot remember, I have to check again. But I'm still in it, guys. I did not got liquidated on this. I'm still in it, and I'm writing this out here. So if you want to get into XRP here, a good level might be also right now to start building a position, and then you add massively to that position once you get here a break above the downward sloping trend line of that ascending broadening wedge and the horizontal level here at $3.23. So if we pull back a little bit, then the lower end of the candle body, $3.05, might be a level where I would then just also dollar cost average to the downside. But I think here this looks like that we are going to get here really soon a nice breakout to higher levels. And the next one is COTI. I know COTI is one of the hated coins, but this is the exact reason why I believe that we are going to get here a violent breakout to the upside, something like over here, where we did almost a 42% move in one single daily candle. So if we would do something from the current price, 41.6%, so that would bring us back to like almost 13 cents 0.6 is the level that we would get back to. So if we can then establish support above that level, that would lead to continuation. I'm pretty sure that a candle like this is brewing here right now for COTI, because we have seen this many times before when we came into that buy cluster here, that buyers were stepping in and pushing it back to Valhalla. And also here the falling wedge pattern is coming to an end. So we need to get a directional move here in COTI over the next 4 to 5 days-ish. So also a coin on spot worth accumulating, and also either adding or opening a new position on COTI might be right now a good idea while Bitcoin is turning around. But I want to mention again, guys, tomorrow FOMC, be prepared for some volatility. And once that is done, we should be out of the hot water and get a nice continuation here across the board. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here. Once again, don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more profits tomorrow.